This is the only place I can get some peace and quiet. The smoking room. I didn't fucking smoke before I came in here, but like I said, it's the only place I can get some peace and quiet, write my journal, and just be myself, you know? The nurses can't spy on you in here. They can't listen in on your conversations like they do in the rest of this damn place. They're constantly trying to assess how normal you are. It's really annoying. And some of them aren't too sharp, so even a normal conversation can easily be misconstrued. They tell you you're overstimulated, yet in the only common room next door, the bloody TV's playing the whole time. And in the only other common room, the dining room, there's people playing video games constantly. Like, give me a break, man. The audio stimulus alone is enough to drive anyone crazy. And if that wasn't enough, there's the other patients. Yeah, they're weird, and they rabbit on at you. It's really annoying, man. I'm supposed to be in here resting and relaxing? Hello, how can I calm down and chill out with all these crazy people about? This place is designed to exhaust you even further. I write letters every day to the doctors and nurses, just to document how I'm being treated. It's very important to document everything in these situations, these precarious situations where your entire being is being compromised. In today's letter, for example, Dear doctors, may I suggest that this ward is full of things that upset me. For example, last night Simon was brought in at 12:30 a.m. screaming and yelling, "I'm scared!" And the treatment he got was like mine. Strap in, forced medication. It pained me greatly to see someone else going through what I had 8 nights earlier. No one asked him what he was scared of, which I felt was a little strange, to say the least, huh? How's this for an ending? How's this? Please work with me outside of these walls, as I feel quite uncomfortable within them, especially seeing Simon come in and be treated obscenely. I call it inhumanely. Sincerely, Susan. That should do the trick. Fortunately, my ex visits me every day, and he's due any minute, or else. And he brings me a packet of Miss Vicky's salt and vinegar chips, and they go on my daily egg sandwich to make it edible, crunchy, and yummy. And that's my dinner. So there. Right. I'd like to talk a little bit about drugs. Drugs, 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 drugs. They make the world go round, literally. You go to the doctor and they give you drugs. In fact, that's about all doctors like to do is write prescriptions. Hell, that's all they do. So yeah, drugs. I'd like to draw some parallels here between hallucinating on illegal drugs and hallucinating when you've taken no drugs. Both very similar experiences, however the latter will likely land you in hospital and on medication for the rest of your life. So, you have a mind-blowing experience and you're on illegal drugs, it's okay. You have a mind-blowing experience and you're on no drugs, it's not okay. Doesn't seem fair now, does it? I'm gonna blow my mind and do some drugs. Yeah. This person pays their $10 or whatever for their tab of acid, and then they brace themselves for a trip. They're ready, they're prepared. They have a nice few trippy hours, maybe longer, maybe a couple days if they're lucky, or unlucky, depending on how the trip is going. And then they return to normal. At least we hope so anyway, because some don't. Then it's like, surprise! You're like this next person I'm going to mention. This next person doesn't do drugs, but their life is stressful and they're a little bit ungrounded and things feel out of control. So, things are out of control, right? Where were we now? This person that doesn't do drugs. So, soon, because things are so out of control, their mind decides to take a wander. But they're not ready. They didn't pay their $10. They're unprepared. And before you know it, they're on a drug trip. Soon the radio starts talking to them. Things get weird, they get weird, and everyone's telling them so. This person is on a free drug trip. But because it wasn't prearranged with the dealer, it's not in the realms of normal. I reckon if we said to this person, dude, someone must have slipped you a tab of acid. Everything's going to be okay. And we put them on a nature retreat, they would soon return to normal. Unfortunately, that's not what happens now, is it? And how are we today, Susan? Psychotic, catatonic, paranoid, delusional, disturbed, impulsive, compulsive, hypersexual, grandiose, talkative, irritable, irrational, anxious, manic, panic, medication, subordination, medication, subordination, alienation, a danger to yourself and others, a danger to yourself and others, a danger to yourself and others. Take a pill, just one or two. Just one or two or three or four, maybe more, twice a day for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. No! You're the one that's crazy. You're the one that's crazy. No, Mother, I need you, I need you. Dad, where's Mom? She's in the kitchen, Pet. She'll be back in a minute. Oh. Okay. Dad, where's Mom? She's in the kitchen, sweetie. She'll be back in a minute. Oh, right. Dad, where's Mom? She's in the kitchen, Pet, making you a cup of tea. Oh. Dad, where's Mom? Right. I'd like to close tonight's introductory meeting by reading a poem by my dear friend John Gregory. It's called The Chant. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do if your son or daughter was born to save the world, to make $1 million, to fly to the sun? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do if your son or daughter stayed in the garage painting with mustard, hearing the voice of God from the radio? What would you do? What would you do? Would you call a doctor? Go to the hospital? Call a doctor? Go to the hospital? Is that all I could do? Is that all I could do? Am I to blame? Am I to blame? Was it how he was toilet trained? Are her friends to blame? Are her friends to blame? This is too great a shame. Too great a shame. Shh. Well, there's certainly nothing in my family. Don't let him stand in front of the window. Ignore him. He's showing off. It'll go away. Can we put him in a home? Can't the doctor do something? As your doctor, I have a diagnosis. I have a regimen. I can recommend care. Why did it happen? I don't have the answers. Will she get better? Some respond, some don't. Will she get better? She'll never be the same. But will she get better? She'll never be the same. What could you do? What could you do? He seemed concerned. She seemed efficient. This is the best care, the very best care, the best beds, the best drugs. People on the hill or in the gutter all end up in the exact same place, getting the best. On the street yesterday, a woman was talking to herself. She was talking to everyone, anyone who would listen. She scared me. Wouldn't she scare you? She's crazy. Crazy to talk to who you don't know. Crazy to talk when you're all alone. Is she the girl who painted the garage with mustard? Who wanted to fly? Who heard God on the radio? Is that her? I'm sure that's her. Does she not have some place to go? The way she's dressed. The way she acts. Does she not have some place to be? Does she not have some dignity? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do if you went crazy? Where would you go? A hospital? A doctor? Take a pill? Take a rest? Would your job wait for you? Would your friends wait for you? Would your job wait for you? Would your friends wait for you? Would someone give you love? Forgiveness? Love? Or would they get up and leave? Would someone give you love when you've had no choice? Dignity, choice, love. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Thanks, folks. That was a great introductory group meeting. Now, if you all stick around, we have some coffee and tea and little nibblies. And we'll see you all next week, same time, same place. Great.